The Deep Space Monitoring Station, Echo 7, floated silently in Earth's orbit, its sophisticated arrays constantly scanning the vast emptiness of space. Inside the station, Officer Mike Brown sat at his console, sipping his third cup of coffee for the night shift. His eyes were fixed on the monitoring screens, watching the usual cosmic background radiation patterns he'd seen thousands of times before. But tonight was different. The first sign came as a subtle anomaly in the readings. Mike straightened in his chair as he noticed the unusual pattern emerging on his screen. The signal was unlike anything he'd ever seen. Not random enough to be natural, but not matching any known human transmissions either. "Captain," Mike called out, his voice steady despite his racing heart. "You need to see this." Captain David White pushed away from his desk and floated over to Mike's station in the zero-gravity environment. His gray eyes narrowed as he studied the readings. 20 years of space monitoring experience told him this was something extraordinary. "Run a full-spectrum analysis," he ordered, placing a hand on the back of Mike's chair to steady himself. The computers hummed as they processed the incoming signal. Minutes passed in tense silence as other crew members gathered around the station. Finally, the results appeared on the main screen. "It's a distress signal," Mike announced, his voice filled with disbelief. "But the encoding, it's not one of ours. Not Russian, not Chinese, not any Earth nation." Captain White's face remained composed, but his grip on Mike's chair tightened. "Location: edge of the solar system, just beyond Neptune's orbit," Mike replied, his fingers flying over the keyboard. "And sir, it's not just one signal. There are hundreds of them." The captain immediately activated the station's secure communication channel to Earth Command. Within minutes, the highest-ranking officials from the World Space Coalition were connected in an emergency conference call. As the station's sensors gathered more data, the situation became clearer. A massive fleet of unknown vessels was stranded at the edge of the solar system. Their energy signatures were unlike anything humans had ever encountered, suggesting technology far beyond Earth's current capabilities. The translator AI worked tirelessly to decode the alien language in the distress signals. After several hours, the first translated message came through. "To any intelligent life in this system, we seek assistance. Our quantum drive cores have failed. We carry civilians, children, the elderly. We have enough emergency power for 30 Earth days. Please help." The message repeated continuously, broadcasting on multiple frequencies. Earth's response was swift but cautious. Within hours, every major telescope in the world was pointed toward the coordinates. The images they captured confirmed the incredible truth. A fleet of over 10,000 ships, their sleek designs clearly not of human origin, drifting helplessly in space. The World Space Coalition convened an emergency session. Debates raged about the potential risks and benefits of helping an unknown alien civilization. But in the end, humanity's compassion won out over fear. Captain White received new orders from Earth Command. Echo 7 Station would make first contact while Earth prepared a rescue mission. With steady hands, Mike composed humanity's first official message to an alien civilization. "Unknown fleet, this is Echo 7 Station of Earth. We have received your distress signal and are preparing assistance. Please maintain communication." The response came faster than expected. The alien message contained detailed technical data about their ships and the nature of their emergency. Their main propulsion system had suffered a catastrophic failure during an attempted jump through space. The backup systems were keeping life support running, but they couldn't generate enough power for movement. As Mike and his team processed the technical information, they realized something extraordinary. While the alien technology was far more advanced, the basic principles behind it were comprehensible. With proper coordination and resources, humans might actually be able to help. Captain White sent another message to the alien fleet. "Maintain your position. A rescue mission is being organized. You are not alone." As the news spread across Earth, humanity faced its first major test as a spacefaring civilization. The next few weeks would prove whether humans could rise to the challenge of helping a stranded alien species, or if they would let fear hold them back from this historic opportunity. The crew of Echo 7 continued their work, knowing they were part of something unprecedented in human history. The real challenge was just beginning. The World Space Coalition's Emergency Command Center in Geneva buzzed with activity. Representatives from every space-capable nation had gathered to plan humanity's most ambitious rescue mission. The massive display screens showed the alien fleet's position and the constant stream of data from Echo 7 station. Commander Robert Wells stood before the assembled leaders, his voice firm as he presented the rescue plan. The colony ship Horizon is our best option. It's the largest vessel we have, equipped with advanced repair facilities and enough space to house rescue teams and equipment. The Horizon wasn't originally built for rescue missions. The massive ship had been under construction for Mars colonization, but now it would serve a far different purpose. Its large cargo bays and modular design made it perfect for carrying the equipment needed to help the alien fleet. Captain Tom Miller received his orders with characteristic calmness. As the Horizon's commander, he would lead the rescue mission. His crew had been training for Mars colonization, but now they faced something far more challenging, helping an advanced alien civilization. "We have 3 weeks to prepare," he told his crew during their first briefing. "Every minute counts. We need to modify our equipment to be compatible with alien technology we barely understand." The preparations were unlike anything in human history. Engineers worked around the clock, studying the technical data sent by the alien fleet. Manufacturing facilities worldwide shifted to producing specialized equipment. Space agencies from different nations coordinated their efforts, sharing resources and expertise. The Horizon's cargo bays were filled with spare parts, power cells, and repair equipment. The ship's medical bay was expanded to handle potential alien biology. Every crew member underwent crash courses in xenobiology and alien technology, based on the limited information they had. Lisa Reed, the ship's chief engineer, led the technical preparations. Her team modified their tools and equipment based on the alien technical specifications. "Their technology is advanced," she explained during a briefing, "but the basic principles of physics remain the same. We can help them, even if we have to use simpler solutions." 7 days before launch, Captain Miller received updated information from Echo 7 station. The alien fleet situation was worse than initially thought. Over 10,000 ships carried millions of refugees, and their life support systems were starting to show strain. The launch day arrived with global attention. Billions watched as the Horizon lifted off from the lunar construction facility. The massive ship, now humanity's ambassador to the stars, carried the hopes and dreams of an entire species. As they accelerated toward the outer solar system, the crew received constant updates from Echo 7. The alien fleet maintained regular communication, sending more detailed information about their systems and needs. Each transmission revealed more about their situation. They were refugees, fleeing from a disaster in their home system, looking for a new home when their drives failed. The journey to the fleet's position would take 2 weeks at maximum speed. Captain Miller used this time to prepare his crew for every possible scenario. They ran simulations, studied alien schematics, and practiced emergency procedures. "We're not just fixing ships," he told his crew during one briefing. "We're making history. How we handle this will define humanity's place in the galaxy." The crew felt the weight of this responsibility. They were no longer just space workers and engineers. They were humanity's representatives to an advanced alien civilization. 2 days into the journey, the ship's long-range sensors detected the alien fleet. The sight left even the most experienced crew members speechless. Thousands of vessels, each larger than Earth's biggest ships, hung motionless against the backdrop of space. Their designs were elegant and alien, with smooth curves and materials that seemed to absorb light. Captain Miller opened a channel to Earth. "Command, we have visual contact with the fleet. Beginning approach procedures." As the horizon moved closer, they received new messages from the alien ships. The translations revealed a mix of hope and anxiety. The aliens were both grateful for the help and amazed that a less advanced civilization would attempt such a rescue. Little did they know that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in its technology, but in its determination and ingenuity. The real challenge was about to begin, and the crew of the Horizon was ready to show the galaxy what humans could do. The first close-up view of the alien ships left the Horizon's engineering team stunned. Chief Engineer Lisa Reed and her assistant Jack Wilson stood in the observation deck, studying the massive vessels through reinforced windows. The alien ships' hulls seemed to shimmer with an inner light, made of materials unknown to human science. "Their quantum drive system is like nothing we've ever seen," Jack said, reviewing the technical data on his tablet. The alien engine cores operated on principles that seemed to defy conventional physics. While human ships used nuclear fusion for propulsion, these vessels manipulated the fabric of space itself. The first challenge came during the initial docking attempt. The Horizon's standard docking mechanisms weren't compatible with the alien airlocks. Lisa's team worked through the night, fabricating adapter rings that would allow them to create secure seals between the ships. The alien engineering team met them at the airlock. Despite their strange appearance, tall, slender forms with iridescent skin, their body language conveyed the same mix of professional focus and desperate hope that Lisa saw in her own crew. Through their translated communications, the aliens explained their problem. Their quantum drive cores had suffered a cascading failure during a jump through space. The technology was so advanced that they had never needed to consider simpler backup systems. Now, with their main drives dead, they had no way to move their fleet. "Sometimes the most advanced solution isn't the best solution," Jack said during an emergency engineering meeting. He pulled up a diagram on the main screen. "Look at their power distribution system. It's incredibly efficient, but also incredibly complex. One failure leads to another and another." Lisa understood what he was suggesting. "You want to bypass their entire power grid and use our fusion reactors." "Exactly," Jack nodded. "Their ships still have functional conventional engines for maneuvering. If we can provide enough raw power, they can at least move. It's not elegant, but it would work." The alien engineers were skeptical at first. The idea of using primitive fusion technology seemed almost offensive to them. But as Jack explained the plan, their attitude changed to curiosity, then admiration. The simplicity of the solution was its strength. The next days were a blur of activity. The Horizon's crew worked alongside the aliens, installing power transfer systems and modifying fusion reactors. They discovered that human engineering tools, while less advanced, were often more versatile and reliable than the aliens' specialized equipment. "Your species has an unusual way of thinking," one of the alien engineers commented to Lisa. "You see problems differently than we do. We seek perfection in complexity. You find elegance in simplicity." The breakthrough came on the fourth day. Jack's team successfully connected a modified fusion reactor to one of the smaller alien vessels. The power transfer was stable. The alien ship systems, while not operating at full capacity, had enough energy to maneuver. "It's like jumping a car battery," Jack explained to the amazed aliens. "Sometimes the old ways are the best ways." The success brought new energy to the rescue effort. The Horizon's fabrication facilities worked around the clock, producing more fusion reactors and power transfer systems. The aliens contributed their knowledge, helping to improve the efficiency of the human designs. But as they worked, Lisa noticed something concerning. The power requirements of the alien life support systems were increasing. The temporary solution would work, but they needed to move quickly. The entire fleet needed to be modified before their emergency power reserves ran out. "We need to speed up production," she told Captain Miller during their evening briefing. "At our current rate, we'll only have half the fleet equipped in time." The captain nodded grimly. "I'll contact Earth. We need more resources, more ships." As they discussed logistics, Jack burst into the meeting room. "Captain, Chief, you need to see this." His face was pale. "The long-range sensors are picking up a massive solar storm heading our way. If it hits before we finish the modifications." Lisa didn't need him to finish the sentence. A solar storm of that magnitude could disable both human and alien ships, leaving them stranded in the outer solar system. The rescue mission had just become a race against time. The engineering team returned to work with renewed urgency. They had to save the alien fleet, not just from their technical problems, but from the fury of space itself. The approaching solar storm appeared as an angry red mass on the horizon's sensor displays. Captain Miller stood in the bridge, watching as real-time data streamed in from Earth's solar monitoring stations. The storm was massive, carrying enough energy to overwhelm the shields of both human and alien vessels. "Time to impact?" he asked. 48 hours, the sensor officer replied. "It's moving faster than we initially calculated." The original estimate had given them 5 days. Now they had just 2. In the ship's main cargo bay, engineers from both species worked frantically to modify more vessels. They had successfully equipped about 3,000 ships with human fusion power systems, but 7,000 remained helpless. The alien fleet leader, who humans called the First Commander, joined an emergency meeting on the horizon. Through the translator system, their discussion was tense but focused. "Our remaining ships cannot withstand this storm," the First Commander said. "Even with full power, our shields were not designed for such intensity." Captain Miller studied the data projections. "If we could move the modified ships to the far side of Neptune, the planet's magnetic field might offer some protection, but the unmodified ships would be destroyed." Lisa finished his thought. She had been working for 20 hours straight, her uniform stained with coolant and grease. "We can't modify them all in time. Not with our current setup." Jack Wilson, who had been quietly studying the alien ship schematics, suddenly straightened. "What if we don't need to modify them all? What if we could link them together?" All eyes turned to him. He pulled up a diagram on the main screen. "The alien ships can create energy bridges between vessels. They use them for personnel transfer. If we modify the bridges to carry power, we could power multiple ships from a single fusion reactor." Lisa caught on to his idea. The modified ships could support the others through the storm. The alien engineers quickly joined the discussion, their earlier technological pride forgotten in the face of survival. They confirmed it was possible but warned that the power transfer would be less efficient over the energy bridges. "Better to have less power than no power," Captain Miller said. The First Commander agreed. The new plan required precise coordination. The modified ships would form a protective network around the others, sharing power through a web of energy bridges. It wasn't elegant, but it might work. Time became their enemy. Hours blurred together as crews worked to position the ships. The alien vessels moved into formation, creating geometric patterns in space that would allow for optimal power distribution. Human engineers rushed to strengthen the fusion reactors for the increased load. "Power grid is at 80%, Lisa reported, monitoring the network from the horizon's engineering bay. "The energy bridges are holding, but some of the outer ships are only getting 40% of nominal power." "Will it be enough?" Captain Miller asked. "It has to be," she replied. The storm's leading edge reached them with 12 hours to spare. Static filled their communication channels. The first wave of charged particles hit the fleet's outer ships, making their shields glow with ethereal light. Inside the alien vessels, families huddled together, watching as human technology fought to keep them safe. Children pressed against viewports, watching the strange energy dance around their ships, not fully understanding the danger, but sensing the tension in their parents. On the horizon's bridge, Captain Miller watched the power readings fluctuate. Each surge in the storm caused drops in shield strength, but the network held. The fusion reactors ran hot, pushing their safety limits, but they didn't fail. "Neptune's magnetic field is deflecting the worst of it," the sensor officer reported. "Shield network is stressed but stable." Hours passed in tense silence. The storm raged around them, but the combined ingenuity of two species kept it at bay. As the last waves of charged particles washed over them, shears erupted across both human and alien ships. Captain Miller opened a channel to the first commander. "Your fleet is safe. We made it." The alien leader's response carried emotions that needed no translation. "Together, we did what neither of us could do alone. Perhaps this is the beginning of something greater than a rescue." Looking out at the massive fleet, still connected by glowing bridges of energy, Captain Miller couldn't help but agree. They had done more than save lives. They had proven that the greatest challenges could be overcome when different species worked as one. With the solar storm behind them, a new kind of energy filled the combined fleet. As engineers continued strengthening the power systems, crew members from both species found themselves drawn together by curiosity. The Horizon's recreation deck became an informal meeting ground where humans and aliens gathered to learn about each other. The first breakthrough came through food. The ship's cook, Bill Anderson, had prepared a special meal for the engineering teams. The aliens watched with fascination as humans enjoyed their dinner, asking endless questions about the concept of cooking. "You deliberately apply heat to organic matter to improve its taste," one alien asked, their translator struggling to convey their mix of horror and intrigue. Bill smiled and offered them a carefully tested, safe-for-alien consumption dish of simple rice and vegetables. Their reaction to the taste was immediate and profound. Having evolved on a world where all food was consumed in its raw form, the sensation of cooked food was revolutionary to them. In return, the aliens shared their own food preparation methods. They used sound waves to restructure matter at the molecular level, creating intricate patterns that humans found both beautiful and delicious. The ship's mess hall soon became a laboratory of culinary fusion between the two species. Music proved to be another bridge. During a break between repair shifts, Jack Wilson took out his old guitar. The aliens were captivated by the simple wooden instrument. Their own music was created entirely through mental interfaces with complex machines, producing mathematically perfect harmonies. But where is the emotion in perfection? One young alien asked, watching Jack's fingers move across the strings. The imperfect, organic nature of human music touched something deep in their consciousness. Soon, impromptu concerts featuring both species' musical styles filled the ship's corridors. The aliens shared their art forms too. They created three-dimensional light sculptures that responded to thought and emotion. The Horizon's observation deck was transformed into a gallery where human paintings hung alongside alien light art, creating a stunning visual dialogue between cultures. "They're not so different from us," Lisa observed to Captain Miller as they watched a group of alien children teaching human crew members their version of a game. It involved manipulating small fields of energy to create complex patterns, similar to human children playing with string figures. The aliens were particularly fascinated by human dreams. Their species had evolved beyond the need for sleep, and the concept of unconscious imagination was entirely new to them. They spent hours listening to humans describe their dreams, trying to understand this mysterious aspect of human consciousness. Language became less of a barrier as both species developed a deeper understanding of each other's thought patterns. The aliens began to grasp human metaphors and humor, while humans learned to appreciate the mathematical poetry that formed the basis of alien communication. One evening, an alien elder gathered a group of humans to share their species' history. They spoke of their home world, now lost to a dying star, and their centuries-long journey through space. The humans shared their own stories of overcoming adversity, of wars and peace, of climbing from stone tools to spaceflight in a mere few thousand years. "Your species compresses centuries of development into decades," the elder observed. "You achieved through determination what we achieved through time." The exchange wasn't all philosophical. Practical knowledge flowed freely between the species. Alien engineers learned human repair techniques, appreciating the versatility of simple tools. Human scientists gained insights into quantum mechanics from alien theoretical models. The Horizon's medical bay became a center for biological research as doctors from both species studied each other's physiology. The aliens were amazed by human cellular regeneration, while humans marveled at the aliens' natural ability to process radiation. Even fashion became a point of cultural exchange. The aliens, who had never used clothing for anything but environmental protection, became intrigued by human decorative garments. Some began incorporating elements of human design into their protective suits, while humans adopted the iridescent materials the aliens used. As days passed, the lines between the two species began to blur. Working together, eating together, sharing stories and songs, they were no longer just rescuer and rescued. They had become something new, two civilizations learning that their differences made them stronger together. Perhaps, Captain Miller wrote in his log, "This is what first contact was always meant to be. Not a clash of civilizations, but a dance of discovery, each step bringing us closer to understanding not just each other, but ourselves." The first warning came from Earth's Deep Space Monitoring Network. A second solar storm, far more powerful than the first, was building up. Initial calculations showed it would reach the fleet's position in less than 15 hours. Captain Miller stood in the Horizon's command center, surrounded by both human and alien leaders. The holographic display showed the approaching storm, a massive wall of charged particles and electromagnetic energy that dwarfed anything they'd faced before. "This is beyond what our current shield network can handle," Lisa said, her voice tense. "Even with all reactors at maximum output, we'd lose at least half the fleet." The first commander's display lights pulsed with concern. "Our quantum shields would be more effective, but without our main drive cores. What if we combine them?" Jack interrupted, his eyes bright with sudden inspiration. "Human power, alien shields. We've already proven we can link the systems." The alien engineers quickly ran calculations through their advanced computers. The results were promising but revealed a new problem. They would need a central control system to coordinate the massive power grid required, something more sophisticated than either species possessed alone. "We can build one," Lisa said, "using our fusion reactors as the power source and your quantum processors for control. A hybrid system." Time became their enemy once again. Both species worked frantically to modify their shield systems. Human engineers stripped down fusion reactors to provide raw power, while alien technicians reconfigured their quantum shield emitters. In the Horizon's main cargo bay, they constructed the central control unit. It was an odd-looking device. Human technology merged with alien components in ways that shouldn't have worked but somehow did. 10 hours to storm impact, the sensor officer announced. The fleet moved into a tighter formation. Larger ships positioned themselves to protect smaller vessels. Power conduits and energy bridges formed a glowing web between the ships, all feeding into the central control unit. "Shield network is online," Lisa reported from the engineering station. "Power flow is stable, but wait." Her screens flashed warning signals. "The quantum processors are overloading. They can't handle the raw energy from the fusion reactors." The alien engineers rushed to adjust their systems, but time was running out. The storm's leading edge was already affecting their communications. Jack studied the power flow diagrams, then turned to the first commander. "Your quantum processors work on harmony, right? Like your music." When the alien confirmed, he continued, "What if we modulated the fusion reactor output to match the quantum frequencies? Like tuning an instrument." The concept was so simple yet so radical that it took the aliens a moment to process it. They quickly began reprogramming the control systems while human engineers adjusted their reactor outputs. "Storm impact in 30 minutes, the sensor officer called out. The fleet held its breath as the first waves hit. The combined shield network glowed with unprecedented power. Human fusion energy, modulated to alien quantum frequencies, created a protection field unlike anything either species had seen before. Lightning-like discharges danced across the shield bubble. Inside, Crew members watched in awe as the storm raged around them. The central control unit hummed with power, human and alien technology working in perfect harmony. Shield strength at 90%, Lisa reported, holding steady. Hours passed as the storm battered their defenses. Minor systems failed and were repaired. Power fluctuations were corrected. Human determination combined with alien precision kept them alive. When the storm finally passed, not a single ship had been lost. The hybrid shield system had performed beyond anyone's expectations. Captain Miller opened a channel to all ships. We did it. Together, we've accomplished something unprecedented. This wasn't just about survival. We've proven that our species are stronger together than apart. The first commander added their own message. Today, we witnessed the birth of a new technology, born from the best of both our peoples. But more importantly, we have witnessed the birth of true cooperation between our species. As the fleet began power-down procedures, Jack looked out at the sea of ships surrounding them. "You know what's amazing?" he said to Lisa. "We just invented an entirely new form of technology because we were willing to listen to each other. Imagine what else we could accomplish." The hybrid shield system stood as proof that the greatest innovations often come not from advancing existing technology, but from combining different ways of thinking. In facing this crisis, they had discovered something far more valuable than just a way to survive a storm. 1 month after the storm, the combined fleet orbited Mars. The red planet's rusty surface reflected sunlight onto the hulls of both human and alien vessels. In the Horizon's main conference room, leaders from Earth met with the alien command to discuss the future. "Our initial surveys confirm it," the first commander announced. "The outer regions of your solar system contain enough resources to rebuild our quantum drive cores. With your help, we can establish a permanent base of operations." The human representatives shared excited looks. The alien refugees had originally planned to continue their journey once their ships were repaired. Now they were proposing something far more significant. "We offer a full technology exchange," the first commander continued. "Our quantum science for your practical engineering. Together, we can build something greater than either of us could achieve alone." Captain Miller watched as the agreements were signed. In 1 month, the rescue mission had evolved into humanity's first interstellar alliance. The aliens would share their advanced technology, while humans would contribute their unique problem-solving abilities and resources. Construction began immediately. The first joint human-alien shipyard took shape in Mars orbit. Human construction teams worked alongside alien architects, combining their methods to create facilities that would serve both species. Jack and Lisa led the technical integration teams. The hybrid shield technology they developed during the storm became the foundation for new innovations. Human fusion power merged with alien quantum systems, creating ships that could outperform anything either species had built before. "It's amazing how our weaknesses and strengths complement each other," Lisa remarked as she watched the first joint-designed vessel take shape. "Their precision and our adaptability, their advanced theory and our practical experience." The alien children were the first to fully embrace the partnership. They attended classes with human children in specially designed education centers, learning both species' languages and cultures naturally. Their games became a mixture of human physical activity and alien energy manipulation. Earth's population watched with fascination as alien architecture began appearing on their planet. Graceful structures that seemed to defy gravity rose alongside traditional human buildings. Markets opened where both species could trade goods and ideas. The first commander's family was among the first aliens to visit Earth's surface. They stood on a beach, feeling natural wind for the first time in generations. Their wonder at simple things like waves and sand helped humans see their own world with new eyes. Bill Anderson's fusion alien cuisine became a sensation. Restaurants serving both species opened in major cities, becoming centers for cultural exchange. The aliens' appreciation for human music led to the first joint concerts, where classical orchestras played alongside quantum harmonizers. But the greatest achievement came 6 months after the initial rescue. The first joint exploration vessel, named Unity, prepared for its maiden voyage. Its crew was split equally between humans and aliens, its systems a perfect blend of both technologies. Captain Miller stood on Unity's bridge, now wearing a uniform that combined human and alien design elements. Mission Control, we are ready for departure. The ship's quantum fusion drive hummed to life. As they accelerated past Mars, Miller thought about how far they'd come. A simple rescue mission had turned into humanity's greatest adventure. Back on Earth, new joint research centers worked on solving problems that had plagued both species. Human medical knowledge combined with alien biotechnology led to breakthroughs in treating diseases. Their combined environmental sciences helped develop better ways to protect planetary ecosystems. "We were lucky that your distress signal reached us," Jack told an alien engineer as they worked on a new drive system design. The aliens' display lights pulsed with amusement. "Luck? No. We chose to enter your solar system because our scans showed something unique, a young species that valued compassion as much as progress. We were right." As Unity disappeared into quantum space, heading toward distant stars, humanity realized they had gained something far more valuable than advanced technology. They had found friends among the stars, partners in the greatest journey of all, the exploration of the universe itself. The story of the rescue became legend, taught to children of both species as the moment when two civilizations discovered that the greatest strength comes not from power or technology, but from the willingness to help others in need. And somewhere in deep space, 10,000 ships carried the proof that when different species work together, anything is possible.